Well, hello there. I am in the beautiful, beautiful state of Colorado, specifically Southwest Colorado, but that's not the point of this video right now. What I really want to talk about is some new equipment I've got, which is related to tripods. So I've been using my trusty Benro, what's the model number here? Adventure TAD 28C for the better part of, I believe, 5 years now. And it has been a really, really solid tripod. I've been very, very happy with it, with the exception of one thing. It uses a center column, so you've got some stability issues. This is the short center column that also comes with it. I've stopped using the full-size center column probably 2-3 years ago, again, just from a stability standpoint, but that means I've had issues with height. And if you've watched any of my in-field videos, from time to time I've even commented on it, or you may have noticed that I would end up setting up the tripod, and instead of having the legs fully spread, I would have to be kind of narrowing the legs up a bit just to try to get it closer to eye level, which technically works, but again, you're losing stability. There's the risk of the tripod losing its balance, especially if it's a little windy out or whatever. So as it stands right now, if I fully splay this out, you can see this is as tall as it goes. So especially when I'm working on uneven terrain and woodlands, things of that nature, it was always very problematic in terms of being able to get some of the compositions I wanted because I couldn't get the tripod up high enough. So really no complaints with the tripod whatsoever. Definitely would recommend it. I'll still be using it for any outings that require a fair bit of hiking because it is very compact when it's folded down. It's a flip lock design. I've always tended to prefer flip locks. I find them to be a little less prone to be problematic in dirty conditions compared to the twist locks. And then the legs can splay out a good distance, but it is a design where you have to pull the little piece out in order to adjust the legs. And then I guess another minor complaint, which a lot of tripods will do this, is when you fold it in, the legs can get crossed up and you kind of got to pull them out and get them uncrossed from each other. So that's this one. I have a new one though, which is when I first started using it. Let me set this over here. I just started using it yesterday, actually. So this is a fairly new experience for me, but I've opted to go with the Leofoto, and bear with me here, LM-324CL X. This is actually a brand new redesign of the former Summit LM-324CL. L standing, I believe, for the longer height. It's a little bit heavier, but not too much heavier than my old Benro, even though it's much, much beefier. The legs, I'll do some side-by-side comparison shots, but the legs are much thicker, which means I should have much better stability. And it does not have a center column at all. It's a 75mm bowl that comes with it, which I'm opting not to use because I don't do video or anything like that. I don't have a leveling head. It's just a flat 75mm surface. I've got my Leofoto hybrid ball head attached to it, or hybrid ball/gear head attached to this. It's the model LH40GR, which I've been really, really happy with this as well. It's not available on their website in the United States. You have to special order it via email, assuming it's still available. It's still on their site, so I believe it is. I've had this for, I want to say 2 years now. Absolutely fantastic. It's got the ball head design on it, so you can still make quick, big adjustments, but then you've got the different gears to operate your tilt both forward and back, or up and down, as well as side to side. My only complaint with this is it doesn't have a geared pano rotation, so it can be a little bit finicky in that regard. But regardless, this has been a great setup here. Eventually, I'll probably, when this bites the dust, I'll probably just go to a standard geared attachment. They've got the G4 Pro head, which does have geared panning as well. But really been happy with the Leofoto head here, which is what gave me the confidence to go with their tripod as well. Also, with their new X series of tripods, they all include a lifetime warranty now, which is another big selling point, obviously. And I guess to that point, talking about selling points, I should throw out, I'm not sponsored. This video isn't sponsored by Leofoto. I bought this with my own money, using a standard discount during promotional period that they had. That said, I am an affiliate, but I'm giving my honest first impressions here. The build quality of this tripod seems to be absolutely fantastic. They've got a new design. Again, I'll show a close-up of it on the way the legs spread out. Instead of pulling a piece out, there's actually a little lever here that you just simply pull out and rotate the leg as needed, and it automatically locks back in to the angled position. The design of this also, the legs can't cross over at all. So as I was showing on that Benro where you've got the legs extended and they can kind of get crossed on each other, this design does not allow that whatsoever. This does have I believe it's a 5/8 inch screw attachment. I'll have to get an adapter because the magic arm I've got uses a smaller screw attachment point, but I do have that now. You've got your typical little hook underneath if you want to hang something for some added stability. And yeah, again, first impressions, really, really impressed with the quality of this. Really solid. It is a twist lock tripod. Now the plus side of that, of course, is I don't have to worry about giving myself blood blisters anymore by pinching myself in the locks, which I seem to always do on one trip or another. Very short rotation to unlock it. Very nice smooth motion to unlock and extend. And you can grip, this is a 4-section tripod, you can grip all 3 twist locks on each leg and easily unlock them and get it extended out. Now you'll notice right away as I hit the hatch here, this thing is gargantuan. When I first opened it up yesterday, I had a moment of, oh my Lord, what have I done? This is absolutely ridiculous. And admittedly, it is absolutely ridiculous. If I set it next to the Benro here, yeah, a little bit of a difference. So I think the Benro without the center column, the full center column extended, maxes out at 55 inches. I'm 5'11". So what is that, 72 inches if I'm doing my quick math correctly. So you can see where that was never going to be tall enough. Well, now we got this thing where even jumping up, I can't reach it. But again, this is going to be great if I need to set the tripod on uneven terrain and the terrain in front of me is lower. This old Benro never, ever, ever would suit my needs in that regard. And I can think of a couple spots specifically in my local park I like to shoot where I was always having the issue of not being able to really get the composition I wanted because this just wasn't tall enough. I needed to set it on some lower terrain in front of me, and I could never get it up above brush and grasses and stuff in the foreground. Certainly ain't going to have the problem with this, but super, super solid. Very, very happy with it. And what I've actually realized is, I've got the height if I need it. Speaking of height, I believe this is 77 inches without the ball head, and that's about another 6 inches. So, yeah, it's a big boy. But anyways, what I've thankfully realized quickly when I had my moment of panic upon setting it up for the first time yesterday is it's 4 sections, but I can get by quite easily with just using the top 2 sections or the top 2 thickest sections of the tubing. And even with that, it's still taller than the old Benro. So this is a great compromise. You can see now with the ball head or with this hybrid head on it, it's basically right at eye level with just the 3 sections instead of 4 sections extended here. So really happy with that. That's how I was using it yesterday. And again, even yesterday I was up on an overlook and there's a little bit of an uneven terrain in front of me. So I was able to extend out that bottom section on one of the legs and get it level and get the height I needed. So while this may feel or seem like overkill when you look at it, it gives me the flexibility and the options of really what I've always needed in terms of getting things closer to eye level. And just with those 3 sections, I'm at a perfect height right here for eye level operation. It does also still extend out very, very low. Really, in many regards, it can get lower than the Benro, because with this Benro, I've still got that short center column on here. And if I didn't have the magic arm on here, I could have that down, but then that limits how far down I can put the tripod close to the ground. Conversely, if I raise it up like it is here, then I can get the tripod nice and low, but then I've got about another, we'll call it 4 to 6 inches of height with that center column. So again, with this, I don't have that problem at all. I can spread the legs out nice and wide and flat, and I don't have a center column messing with the height, so I can get a little bit lower with this new setup. So again, first impressions, very, very happy with it. I really like the way the angle controls work on this with this little lever. Very, very easy to use, and it's not finicky where you got to kind of pull it out and then remember to push it back in to lock it in the new position. Just as you pull the lever, you just release it, and it's going to lock in each spot nice and easily. And you can see how really almost horizontal that can spread out. And of course, you wouldn't have the leg fully extended most likely, but you can get really, really nice and low, and then you can hear it clicking. It automatically, I guess, locks as you narrow that leg back down. So yeah, that's the first look of this. Like I said, I've only been using it for a day or so right now, but really, really happy with the quality of it. Like I said, the tubing is much, much thicker. Again, I'll have to throw in some side-by-side comparisons with the Benro and the this new Leofoto Summit tripod in terms of the thickness of the legs and everything, but especially down on the bottom, a huge difference in that. So I should be getting much better stability, which is always going to be a good thing. And yeah, so that's the first look at it. Again, this is the Leofoto Summit LM-324CL X, and the X indicates that it's the new model. The new models have this updated angle adjustment lever that I've been talking about, whereas the older models, I believe, had the standard pull-out like the Benro does. So again, that's a really nice new design. And then all the new models also have that lifetime guarantee or lifetime warranty, which is nice to have as well. You know, I plan to release either a video or I'll do a blog with a written update in terms of my thoughts on it after I've used it for a little bit longer. But my first impressions are really, really solid, very, very nice quality, and comes with a nice bag, although I never use these, quite frankly, unless I was traveling or something. So yeah, I'm very happy. My only complaint, and I knew this going in, was going to be the size of it collapsed down. I can do that comparison real quickly to the Benro, and this is why I say, from a backpacking standpoint, if I were flying somewhere and I needed to keep my tripod with me, or what am I trying to say? Or check it on the airline, you'll be able to see very quickly here that there's a significant difference in terms of collapsed size, which, again, I knew that going in. Now, keep in mind, I don't have a head on here, but I do have that column extended. So we look at, hopefully this is still on the camera, we look at the Benro collapse down, and if I go ahead and just narrow the legs here, you can see it's like a toddler compared to a full-grown adult. But again, I knew that going in. The sacrifice, I guess, I make for the sake of having the height I need in terms of actual operations. So perfectly fine with that. But yeah, if I'm traveling, probably make other concessions in terms of using the Benro. But when I'm just working out of the truck like this, no problem whatsoever. And honestly, this is a little bit heavier. Now, obviously, it's got the head on it. This one doesn't. But when I was hiking yesterday, I didn't notice any difference in terms of, or any noticeable or observable difference in terms of the feel of it on my pack. So I don't think I'm going to have any issues there. It's just getting used to that size difference. So again, enough on that. Like I said, just wanted to do a first look at this, and I'll provide an update as I get further into my my journey with this new tripod. But again, so far, really, really happy. So I'll drop the link, the affiliate link, in the description below. With that, I hope you found this helpful if you're looking for a taller tripod. And of course, they do offer smaller sizes as well. But again, I specifically was trying to solve for the issue of not having the height I needed. So that's why I went with the biggie. But they do have tons of different options in terms of with center columns, without center columns, and overall height. So yeah, that's that. Again, hope you found this helpful. And until next time, take care.